North Queensland finds itself in the grip of a severe weather event, as relentless rainfall continues to lash the region. From Tully to Ayr, communities face the daunting reality of widespread flooding, with Townsville, Ingham, Cardwell and Proserpine among the hardest hit. The deluge, triggered by two potent tropical lows, has transformed landscapes into swirling torrents, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The relentless downpour has pushed rivers and dams to their limits, prompting a state of emergency across the region. As floodwaters inundate homes, businesses and vital infrastructure, the true extent of the damage remains uncertain. The situation remains fluid, with emergency services and authorities working tirelessly to respond to the evolving crisis. The events unfolding in North Queensland serve as a stark reminder of the raw power of nature and the vulnerability of human settlements in the face of extreme weather. The resilience of the affected communities will be tested as they navigate this unfolding disaster. The coming days will be critical in determining the full impact of these floods and the long road to recovery that lies ahead. The scale of the rainfall in North Queensland is staggering. Some areas have already been drenched with over a metre of rain in just a matter of days. The community of Rolling Stone faced an almost unimaginable deluge, enduring a record-breaking 999 millimetres of rain in a mere 48 hours. These figures are not just numbers, they represent a volume of water that has overwhelmed drainage systems, turned streets into rivers, and inundated homes and businesses. The Bureau of Meteorology's forecasts offer little respite, predicting continued heavy rain with the potential for isolated totals to exceed 1 metre in the coming days. This relentless deluge has had a devastating impact on the region's waterways. The Ross River Dam, a crucial water source for Townsville, is currently at a staggering 142% capacity, prompting concerns about controlled releases and potential downstream flooding. Further north, the Herbert River is projected to reach levels exceeding those witnessed during the devastating floods of 1967, a sobering indication of the severity of this event. The sheer volume of water presents an unprecedented challenge for North Queensland. Emergency services are stretched thin and the risk of further landslides and infrastructure damage remains high. As the rain continues to fall, so too does the anxiety of residents as they grapple with the enormity of this natural disaster. The escalating flood crisis has forced thousands of residents in North Queensland to flee their homes, seeking refuge from the rising waters. Evacuation orders have been issued for numerous communities, including 6 suburbs of Townsville Railway Estate, Hermit Park, Rossley, Idalia, Cluden and Ununba. These areas, designated as a black zone, face the most significant threat, with potential flood levels exceeding those experienced during the 2019 floods. A midday deadline was imposed, adding urgency to the evacuation efforts as authorities urged residents to prioritize their safety. Tragically, the floods have already claimed 1 life, a stark reminder of the dangers posed by these extreme weather events. A woman lost her life in Ingham when an SES rescue boat capsized during a rescue operation. This heartbreaking incident underscores the perilous conditions faced by both residents and those working tirelessly to provide assistance. The evacuation process has been a monumental undertaking, with emergency services working around the clock to reach those stranded and transport them to safety. The scale of the displacement highlights the devastating impact of these floods on individuals, families, and entire communities. The relentless rainfall and subsequent flooding have wreaked havoc on North Queensland's infrastructure, crippling essential services and disrupting daily life. Widespread power outages have plunged communities into darkness, adding another layer of complexity to the already challenging situation. The Ingham substation, a critical power hub, remains offline, leaving a significant portion of the town without electricity. Palm Island is also grappling with a power outage caused by a landslide, further isolating the community. The lack of power has disrupted communication networks, hampered rescue efforts, and added to the distress of residents already grappling with the impacts of flooding. Schools across the region have been forced to close their doors as floodwaters render roads impassable and pose safety risks to students and staff. Over 100 schools remain closed, disrupting education and adding to the challenges faced by families seeking refuge. Transportation networks have also been severely impacted, The Bruce Highway, a vital artery connecting communities along the Queensland coast, has been cut in multiple locations due to flooding and landslides. Townsville Airport was forced to cease operations at 12:30 p.m, further isolating the region and hindering the arrival of essential supplies and personnel. These widespread infrastructure failures have exacerbated the challenges posed by the floods, highlighting the vulnerability of modern society to extreme weather events. The restoration of these vital services is paramount to the recovery effort, but the scale of the damage suggests a long and arduous road ahead. The city of Townsville, a major population centre in North Queensland, finds itself on high alert as floodwaters continue to rise. 6 suburbs, Railway Estate, Hermit Park, Rossley, Idalia, Cluden and Ununba, have been designated as a black zone, facing the most significant flood threat. Authorities have warned that flood levels in these areas could surpass those experienced during the devastating floods of 2019, prompting urgent calls for residents to evacuate. The midday deadline imposed for evacuation from the black zone added a sense of urgency to the situation, as emergency services worked tirelessly to reach residents and urged them to seek higher ground. The Ross River, which winds its way through the heart of Townsville, poses a significant threat as its waters continue to rise. The Ross River Dam, a major water storage facility, is currently at 142% capacity, prompting concerns about controlled releases and the potential for downstream flooding. The situation in Townsville remains fluid and unpredictable. Residents are on edge as they monitor river levels and heed the warnings of authorities. The coming hours will be critical in determining the full impact of the floods on the city. The resilience of the community will be tested as they face this ongoing threat and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. As North Queensland grapples with the devastating impacts of this flood event, government agencies and emergency services have mobilised a massive response effort. Queensland Premier David Crisafulli has been at the forefront of the response, urging residents to heed evacuation orders and assuring them that all available resources are being deployed to assist those affected. Local disaster management groups have been coordinating evacuation efforts, establishing evacuation centres and providing updates to the public. Emergency service personnel, including over 170 crews, have been conducting door-knocking operations in Townsville, ensuring residents are aware of the risks and encouraging them to evacuate if necessary. The Australian Defence Force has also been called upon to provide support, deploying personnel and resources to assist with rescue and relief efforts. Their involvement is crucial in reaching isolated communities and providing critical assistance in challenging conditions. Disaster declarations have been issued for both Townsville and Innisfail, unlocking additional resources and support for the affected regions. The declaration reflects the severity of the situation and the government's commitment to providing all necessary assistance to those impacted by the floods. The coordinated response from government agencies and emergency services demonstrates a united front in the face of adversity. Their tireless efforts offer a beacon of hope to those affected, providing essential assistance and support during this challenging time. As if the threat of rising floodwaters wasn't enough, residents in North Queensland face an additional danger lurking beneath the surface: crocodiles. The floodwaters have displaced these apex predators, bringing them into closer proximity to residential areas and posing a significant risk to human safety. Footage has emerged of 2 individuals wading through floodwaters despite warnings, highlighting the disregard for safety precautions during this time. A chilling crocodile sighting near a car in Ulumba further underscores the very real danger posed by these reptiles in flood-affected areas. Authorities have issued urgent warnings about the increased presence of crocodiles in floodwaters, urging residents to exercise extreme caution and avoid entering or approaching flooded areas whenever possible. These warnings highlight the importance of respecting wildlife, especially during times of displacement and environmental stress. The presence of crocodiles adds another layer of complexity to the already challenging situation in North Queensland, underscoring the importance of heeding safety warnings and remaining vigilant. The floodwaters may conceal these hidden dangers, making it crucial for residents to prioritise their safety and avoid unnecessary risks.